How important would you say it is to get developer support when you run a tournament?
It's crucial, but a lot of people don't see it that way. It's crucial because only in the format of live tournament do you discover the full potential of the game. And right now, what we are doing at this moment is we're having people, we have a whole team of people at the in our tournament area, at the knock of the tournament area, going through Halo and discovering things that we never discovered even in the online play. So that could be problematic for the tournament. So that tomorrow we're having a meeting with all the teams and telling them about the things that we've discovered and just make sure that everybody plays at a professional level. If you have an active developer, those things then for the next event can be addressed, if they're willing. Developers see organizations like the CPL almost as a necessary evil. They see us as sort of brokers. You know, we're the ones that really deal with, you know, it used to be, they really don't want to deal with the gaming community. You know, all they really want is to sell games to them. And we don't have that luxury. We don't have a product we sell. Our clients we have two main clients, corporations, which sponsor the league, and the end user, which uses the product. So finding developers that are willing to put in the commitment to work with an organization, the CPL, we have clear, I mean, we're doing this for 6.5 years. We have a clear vision of what this game needs to have and should not have. It's challenging for developers because they're not used, they see us as part of that unnecessary evil. Oh, yeah, we got to do this. So, so even in our conversations with Gearbox, as close as our relationship is with them, they're not doing everything that we're requesting. And you know, it angers us. It really does. It angers us that a developer does not listen when we know that this is the right path. You know, you can't just blame an engine or blame whatever and allow an exploit in the game. That diminishes the value of it as a competitive game. So having that support and being true support is absolutely necessary. Now, Gearbox, on the other hand, has done great things for the game, and we'll continue working with them. And we knew going into it that we're not going to get everything we wanted. But you know, it doesn't please me to see them turn a deaf ear to concerns of the gaming community. So it's just, this is the kind of battle that we battle every day. So this is what the CPL really is all about, and this is what the public doesn't really see. That we're constantly trying to push forward, not only the sport, but the game itself to be more sports-like.
Now, how do you personally measure, when all is said and done, how successful an event's been?
Well, there's a lot. We have, obviously, as a corporation, we have different measurements that we use from a financial aspect of, you know, what were the risk and rewards that we took with an event. Not every event is successful from a financial aspect. So then you move on to other areas. For example, how much publicity it got. For example, the summer event. Summer event wasn't the most financially rewarding event that we've done, but it was the most publicized event that we've ever done. So that was a worthwhile trade for us. But the way that I personally, as a person, measure it is after the event, what kind of comments do we get? One of the greatest things about the summer event was really the lack of criticism that it got. I mean, there wasn't really any negatives. It just came and went, and people just assumed that it was going to be perfect, and it was. So, so that's the kind of that's when that puts a smile on my face, because it is the gamers that determine our success, and if they feel that our event was successful, then, you know, they're going to be quiet about it. Silence is like golden. And when things go wrong, they're going to let us know about it, and that can be kind of frustrating, and it puts us back onto trying to figure out, excuse me, what we're doing wrong, and it just puts us back sometimes to square number one again. So that's really how I measure it, is what is the reaction after the event.
Looking ahead towards the future, the CPL, where do you see this going in 3 years?
Well, I see it's obvious that 2004 is going to be the most successful year so far for esports. Excuse me. Our organization in itself, it will be expanding into Asia, China, Korea, Singapore, Japan, more into Europe, as I explained earlier. And we are actually formalizing at this event. I have all these meetings planned for this event, a solid relationship in South America with actually an organization that is a partner of Intel. So that works really well for us. So at this point, what happens from here is what I predict is going to happen is that a lot of other organizations are going to come into the picture as that's been happening. And that that the bar of what is acceptable for one of these events and what people will go to is going to rise. And sometimes you're pushed, and sometimes you're pulled, and sometimes you walk. And we hope to run to that next point, but we're going to do it systematically and methodically, like we always have. We feel no pressure to do any, we're not going to increase our cash prices dramatically because we don't see the value of doing that, quite honestly. And we're just going to continue to meticulously grow the event as far as diversity of games and things of that nature. Then 2 more years down the road, in 2006, I hope that somebody else is running the CPL by then, because it's going to become much more of a corporation and less of an entrepreneurial type of operation, and that is less exciting for me. So what I hope to do, and I've never said this before, is to be able to retire from the CPL as far as an active role and to manage a team and then show the world how a team could be managed and trained. To hopefully it won't get that advanced by then, but I can still prove a point of what is the right way and have a team like MFA traveling with them everywhere. And just really increase the value of a sort of a team franchise, and hopefully they'll be able to do that. As a matter of fact, we're going to start interviewing for people to come as chief operating officers and things of that nature for our organization in 2004. So it just really changes the company when you get that kind of structure around it. And a bunch of bean counters and attorneys and all that. Well, I can't just wake up one day and say, okay, we're going to do Halo. It just doesn't work that way anymore, and that's just much less exciting for me. So if I'm going to be in that kind of structure, I really would like to be managing a team and showing how it could be. I mean, SK has done a fantastic job at showing what can be done, but there's things that I would integrate that no one is even thinking about, and that would definitely would definitely help and establish a very successful team franchise.
It sounds like an incredibly bright, fantastic future for the CPL for everybody involved.
Yeah, the CPL is not. The CPL has a couple of things going for it. It's very well capitalized. I'm an ex-investment banker, as a lot of people already know. So that's one thing I took care of right away. We have investors and partners that are they're very committed to the success, and of the CPL and its parent company. And we're just it's not gonna continue, and it's not an ego trip for me, as a lot of people think. I mean, is there ego involved? Yeah, I'm a human being. Of course, everybody carries an ego, but it's not an ego trip that I have to be involved forever. I mean, I always knew that my role was going to diminish, and the reason that I'm so certain about that is because when I started the CPL, I started on a 10-year business plan, and we're on year 6 now. And so, as year 9 came around, when we finish that period, and I show how we planned it all from the beginning, when people are going to be surprised how well we estimated what was happening, it shows a new management running, CPL at that time, and executives and things of that nature. As much as people consider me an executive in the community, I'm very far from it, in the sense that I'm operating this because I believe in the concept, and because I'm willing to sacrifice certain things that an executive will never sacrifice. I mean, we're willing to look the other way on the bottom line sometimes, just to make sure that the concept is moving forward.
Well, thank you very much, Angel, for coming down here. It's been a great interview, great conversation, and good luck.
Thank you very much
in the coming days.
Yes, thank you very much. And I do want to point one last thing is the CPL events. There's just a lot of people that like you and I that are sitting in front of these cameras that that sort of get all the attention sometimes, and we just really need to recognize those people that make this happen. A lot of it through just sheer determination and stubbornness of just knowing, in their hearts that they're doing the right thing, and maybe everybody's shaking their head going, "You're foolish to do this," but the guys from MFA video productions that have stuck with us for so long and that are all behind these cameras right now, I just want to say that I really appreciate their commitment to the CPL, and that I just hope that that our joint dreams become a reality one day, and that we look back at these days when we were in a small ballroom like in the Hyatt room like we are right now, with a certain amount of tenderness as how we all got started, and we were part of this whole entire movement that is now totally worldwide. So to everybody that from the volunteers at a CPL event to all the countries that run qualifiers for no compensation sometimes, and all these organizations that believe in what we're doing and that really hope that I am the person that I represent myself to be honest and to be hardworking and all that. For all those people, I want to say thank you, and I want to say don't lose the faith, and we're here to stay. So that's it.